Sonia sat down, her heart beating fast. She had always imagined this moment with Paul. But now that it was happening, she felt scared. "What? What is this?" she said, her voice shaking. She moved back to one corner, her eyes big with shock. "Were they so big?" she asked, her voice quiet and unsure. The happy feeling she had before was gone, and now she just felt afraid. Her hands shook, and tears started to fill her eyes. I can't do this," she said, barely able to speak. Sonia whispered, her voice cracking as tears fell down her face. She had always imagined this night with Paul, her first time, but never like this. She had looked at him and thought she could handle it, but now that he was right in front of her, it felt impossible. Paul, seeing her fear, stood up quickly, his heart hurt seeing her in tears. He knelt beside her, his voice soft and full of concern. "Sonia, please, don't be like this. You know I love you. I've been waiting for this moment with you for so long," he said, his eyes shining with emotion. With gentle care and concern, Paul softly said, "I promise I'll be patient. I want to be with you, but I'll take my time." Sonia's breath was shaky as she replied, "But I'm scared, Paul. I've never done this before. I don't know if I can." Paul leaned in closer, his voice comforting and calm. The small room was filled with tension. Their desire to be close was strong, but fear also lingered. Both of them longed for this moment, their hearts silently hoping for guidance, wishing for something to make everything feel right. The air seemed to hold its breath as they faced this uncertain moment together. In a moment filled with soft words and gentle reassurance, Paul tried once more, guiding her through the moment with care. But then, in an instant, Sonia let out a scream so loud it broke the quiet of the night. Her cry echoed through the village, waking those who had been deep in sleep. Villagers quickly rushed out of their huts, eyes wide with confusion and concern. They gathered outside Paul's home, drawn to the sound of the scream. Among them was Sonia's father, Mr. Eze, his face tight with worry and anger. "What's going on in there?" Mr. Eze demanded, his voice filled with both concern and frustration. Mr. Eze shouted, pounding on Paul's door with force, "Open this door! We heard a woman scream. What have you done to her?" Inside the hut, Paul froze, his heart racing as the reality of the situation sank in. "That's your father," he whispered, his voice trembling with dread. Sonia lay on the bed, her body shaking, pain surging through her. She felt weak, and fear clouded her mind. "I'm so sorry, Sonia," Paul pleaded, his voice filled with guilt. "I didn't mean to hurt you." Sonia could barely move, her body exhausted and her thoughts in a haze of fear. "What are we going to do? My father is—" she whispered, unable to finish her sentence, her voice shaking. The banging on the door grew louder, more furious. "Paul, open this door right now before I break it down," Mr. Eze roared. Without hesitation, Mr. Eze kicked the door, sending it crashing to the ground. The peaceful night had turned into chaos. Paul and Sonia stood frozen, their hearts pounding as they faced her father and the villagers. Meanwhile, Paul was no ordinary man. He was tall, dark, and strikingly handsome, with a presence that turned heads wherever he went. His ebony skin shone like polished stone under the sun that could melt the heart of any young woman in the village. Sonia, on the other hand, was known for her beauty, but even more for her principles. She believed in keeping herself pure until marriage, a decision that often made her the topic of gossip among her peers. Her friends, especially Ada and Chica, never understood her. "Sonia, who are you keeping yourself for?" Ada would tease, shaking her head. "This is not the olden days. Men don't wait anymore." Chica laughed, adding, "You'll just grow old waiting for a man who will probably leave you after the first fight. Wise up, my friend." But Sonia only smiled at their comments. "I'm waiting for someone who will respect me and my choices. If he can't wait, then he's not the one for me." Her resolve didn't stop men from pursuing her, though. Sonia had caught the attention of nearly every eligible bachelor in the village, including Enkem, the son of a wealthy trader. Enkem was persistent. He showered her with gifts, sweet words, and promises. "Sonia, I'll give you the world if you say yes to me," he would say. But when she told him about her decision, his tone changed. "Who will wait for you, Sonia? This is the modern world. You better wake up before you lose all your chances," he said angrily one evening after she turned him down yet again. Sonia's heart ached, but she stood her ground. "If you can't wait, then you're not the man for me," she said firmly. Her last relationship ended painfully when she found the man she thought understood her in the arms of another woman. She had gone to visit him one evening, carrying a basket of his favorite snacks, only to find him laughing and holding another woman in his home. "Then?" she asked, tears streaming down her face. "I'm a man, Sonia. I have feelings too," he said almost unapologetically. Sonia left that day, her heart broken, but her resolve stronger than ever. She prayed and waited, and then Paul came into her life. Paul was different. He wasn't just handsome. He was kind, respectful, and patient. When Sonia told him about her beliefs, he didn't scoff or argue. Instead, he smiled and said, "I understand. We'll wait until the time is right." Their relationship blossomed, and soon the whole village was talking about Sonia and Paul. People admired them, though a few still whispered, "Can he really wait? Let's see how long this lasts." Sonia and Paul proved everyone wrong. They courted for 9 months and got married. Fast forward to their first night. The villagers who rushed out when they heard the scream thought something terrible had happened to Sonia, but instead they began gossiping, saying, "After keeping herself till marriage, now she's disturbing the whole village." "Maybe she doesn't even know what to do," another added, laughing. Mr. Ez, Sonia's father, sat them down and asked, "What is the problem?" After hearing about their struggles, he listened carefully and nodded. "Marriage is about patience and understanding," he said. "If you're struggling, there's no shame in seeking help. The two of you will go and see a counselor who can guide you." Taking his advice, Sonia and Paul met with a counselor who helped them work through their fears and expectations. With time, patience, and love, they grew closer than ever. The villagers, who had once mocked them, soon stopped when they saw how happy and successful Sonia and Paul became. They had 3 beautiful children, and their home was always filled with laughter and love. Sonia's story became a lesson in the village. Her patience, faith, and determination inspired others, and her marriage to Paul showed everyone that true love is built on respect, understanding, and trust. If you enjoyed this story and learned something valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more inspiring content. Your support means so much to me, and I look forward to bringing you more amazing stories. Thank you for watching.